Jews for not supporting the Serbs. After that, these leaders attacked Serbia bitterly, asked bombing. In connection with that, I have to say two things. First of all, if and when they did it as Americans, not as Jews. Madeleine Albright even denied that she was Jewish. She said, I'm ignorant of my Jewish origins. She was an American Foreign Secretary of State, not a Jewish Secretary of State. Holbrooke is by origin, I believe, a German Jewish family. Also, he was in, I believe, everywhere, in State Department, in CIA, in publishing, in everywhere. A figure, prominent figure of the American imperialist policy. You can ask, why did you have so many Jews in this position? It's quite natural. The Jews, the kids of immigrants or great children of immigrants, they knew languages, they knew other foreign cultures, they knew the Eastern Europe, for which America waged the Cold War against Soviet Russia, and the American establishment used them. At the average, that were bright people, well educated, and they climbed position in foreign journalism, in foreign secret services, in CIA, in State Department. That's natural. But I have here something which I will send to you. Do you know Mladenov, who wrote an open letter to my Jewish friends? He is an artistic director of the Jewish theater in New England. At 12, he almost lost his life by the Ustasha. His family lived in Split, in a port city in Dalmatia on the Adriatic coast. And via Italy, the family was saved, and then they emigrated all to the United States. But as a young man from Split, he used also to go to Belgrade to meet the Jewish boys and girls, in Belgrade. So he knew the country and he loved the country. So, and he was able to appreciate what's happening in the early 90s, Mm-hmm. And he was outraged by the behavior of the leader of American Jews. Outraged. And he stated that in this open letter. But I want to attract your attention to one fact when he talked to a guy, executive director of American Jewish Committee, I believe, or Congress, and asked him, why did you do that? Why did you ask bombing of Serbia? You allege to prevent cruelties and slaughter, but in 1999, when America bombed Serbia, in Kosovo only 2,000 people perished, lost life. Why didn't you ask that for Rwanda, for Congo, for East Timor? And the guy, executive director, said, oh, we have no strategic interest in Africa. And then Mladenov asked, who are we? The Jews, or Americans, or NATO? Obviously, when this guy said, we have no strategic interest in Africa, that could be that he referred to the American strategic interests, not Jewish strategic interests. So, my conclusion is that they acted as Americans on behalf of a certain determined American policy. Why they did it, there could be several reasons. That they are perhaps conservatives, anti-socialism, against socialism which existed in my country, Yugoslavia. Some of them wanted to court the Arab and Muslim world, saying, look, we are supporting Muslims in Kosovo, so we are not anti-Muslim in general. That could be too, and they wanted to be good Americans in the sense of Bush and Clinton policy. But that's not my problem. That is my problem. If I can influence, I would. But that's a problem of American Jews and of American Serbs. Don't put the animal in front of my door. You are 1 million of Serbs in America. Madeleine Albright was Secretary of State of your country. You are citizens, you have a voting right, you can write letter, wage campaign against such policy in your country. And don't expect that 13 million Jews scattered in 21 countries would come to your defense. The majority of Jews from Argentina and Brazil to Australia, they don't know much about Serbia. And only my older generation, which lived through the Second World War, would know what happened to the Jews in Yugoslavia or the Serbs in Yugoslavia. Somebody would have vague ideas, somebody even among them would know very little. So you can't expect from a fragmented nation to have a unanimous view in defense of a nation they almost don't know its existence. It is a big mistake. And so I was very annoyed when during a recent correspondence made a false accusations that the highest representative of the Jewish people asked bombing of Serbia. That's not true. That was done only by the leaders of American Jews. Nobody else. I have proofs in my hand. I got letters from the World Jewish Congress. I got letters from the European Jewish Congress. I got a letter from the Federation of Jews in France. I have a letter from the Federation of Jews in Germany. Nothing of the kind was done by them.
Do you believe there was an attempt in America to put a Jewish face on
Of course. They wanted to use a Jewish name and a Jewish moral authority, which I deny. The Jews can't take the right to be moral arbiters of the world because 6 million perished in the Holocaust. Please behave. You are not the chosen people, and you don't hold any moral high grounds. You are people as anybody else. And that is my main message. And because I will show you, I will send you. I waged a battle of 3 months long in Britain to convince British Jews not to join the American Jews. and I succeeded. I will tell you what happened. There was a group of young Jewish intellectual rebels which published a report on Yugoslavia. In this report, they blamed the Serbs as the main culprits, didn't mention the Croats, and supported the Muslims. And the Board of Deputies of British Jews, and they asked the Board of Deputies of British Jews, which represents 300,000 British Jews, yeah, to give a support, to endorse this declaration of theirs. And the board did it. After consulting, the chief rabbi Sachs, and after consulting the rabbis of the Sephardim and the liberal synagogues. And these three rabbis also endorsed it. When I got knowledge of it, I approached the authors of that. I met them personally and I wrote to them. I have all my correspondence here indicating that they are making a major error. That the Jews shouldn't interfere in other people's religious or ethnic wars. I said, at present we have 25 wars, such wars in the world. Are you going to be arbiters everywhere? It's not a Jewish affair. Mind your own business. Defend Jewish interest. Fight for Jewish issues. Then I asked a meeting with the chairman of the Board of Deputies, that is a judge. His name is Israel Feinstein, written in German Feinstein, whom I knew because together with him, I organized the rescue of Sarajevo Jews and talked here in 52 with three Bosnian leaders, he and me.
In 52 or 92?
92. And so he trusted me, and I sent him a memorandum of 11 pages explaining Ali Izetbegovic and his Islamic declaration, explaining him the policy of Tudjman and what the Ustasha did to the Jews, and the situation in Serbia where only the Germans were killing the Jews, and where in the last 100 years Jews lived well with the Serbs. After that, Feinstein received me, told me, look, you know that Margaret Thatcher asked from us to support the Croats and the Muslims, and that the chief rabbi of conservative synagogues, Emanuel Sachs, did the same. But I got your point, he told me, and in the front of the Mr. Savitt, who was responsible for foreign policy in the board, he gave me a 3-point declaration. First, the Board of Deputies of British Jews won't take sides in the Yugoslav wars, henceforth. Secondly, the board is only interested for humanitarian assistance to the Jewish communities and the population at large. And third point, the board is interested that this assistance be delivered in a safe way.
Hello.
I was happy.
Good morning. Thank you very much. We are
It took
coming
me.
down. Thank you
I
very
wrote
much.
to all rabbis. I met this intellectual group. I wrote a big memorandum to him. And I succeeded in neutralizing the British Jews. I couldn't get them to support Serbia, but I succeeded in convincing them they shouldn't act against Serbia.